Montreal had the snow day earlier in the week. We had kids out of school and about a foot of snow, or over a foot of snow rather. Atlantic Canada, for you, we do have warnings in place, including a rainfall warning, western shores of Newfoundland and other areas of Newfoundland, wind warning for you, which really will take effect through your Saturday morning. Quebec around Septiel, that's a winter storm warning, and Quebec City will be seeing snow through today as well. Now, in through northern New Brunswick, snow will start to fall in through your mid-afternoon evening hours. Through the Bay of Fundy, we're going to see snow changing over to rain, and mild enough that unfortunately we're getting a lot of rain here in Halifax, for example, which is in a rainfall warning. So the snow that fell earlier this week with this rain is going to cause potential flood concerns. Let's check out this scene in Toronto. Centimeters of snow so far for the month of February. For today, we're mild. We're getting rain and a rain-snow mix in the greater Toronto area. So as temperatures cool through today and into tomorrow, that will slick up your sidewalks. Take care of what you can. We also are seeing snow in through the north. So Timmins, Kapuskasing, 10 to 15 centimeters. If you're traveling around Ottawa and Montreal, about 5 to 10 centimeters of snow falling mainly through the morning. Here's some news stories you might have missed this week. She seems to like the snow. We have more snow coming in the north around the Nicole Belt and through cottage country. But in Kitchener and Toronto and Hamilton, we're seeing a rain-snow mix for the early morning hours. And we'll continue to see a rain-snow mix in through cottage country. If you're traveling Kingston to Ottawa, we're seeing a few centimeters of snow for you today, generally falling through the morning commute. And then this system starts to depart, leaving behind some lake effect snow through this evening. But Saturday clears out. We get a quiet day. I know a lot of people for family day are heading up to the ski hills. I think it's looking pretty good on the hills because we're also getting that fresh snow through today. So about 5 to 10 centimeters here, North Bay. This would include areas around Parry Sound, Collingwood too, and then Montreal, Ottawa, about 5 to 10 centimeters. And we can't rule out mixing in the Ottawa and Montreal area for this afternoon to keep in mind. There is a wind warning though, with strong southwest winds as this front comes through, gusting up to 80 kilometers an hour. And temperatures are really interesting for today because they go up and they go down. Our temperatures are sitting around 4 degrees in Ottawa for this afternoon. So there's the rain snow mix. But then watch what happens through Saturday. You are -5 in Ottawa. So anywhere that is seeing the slushy weather this afternoon, the rain snow mix, just clear your sidewalks and your driveways because it could ice up through tonight. For Atlantic Canada, you have a quiet day today. The messy weather comes in this evening around New Brunswick. It's snow, but through the Bay of Fundy, snow changing to rain. Nova Scotia, rainfall warning for you. Cape Breton will be seeing rain, and then Newfoundland, strong winds and that messy mix on your Saturday. So into Saturday, 5 to 10 centimeters in through central New Brunswick. For Nova Scotia, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain. Now here's what one family did when they found a strange steaming surface in their backyard.
If you are sick of the snow, maybe you're actually excited for some rain because that means milder conditions. Hello, good morning, Amanda Weldon along with you. Low pressure continues to move, now has taken that northward track. And that's all good because that's where the snow will be. Downtown Toronto, not as much, but milder conditions. One thing to keep in mind with rain throughout the morning, ice has been falling off of those condo buildings. So just be vigilant as a pedestrian out there. I know that police have also shut down a couple of streets. So check that out if you are heading to work for this Friday. High pressure feels behind, so that means we're actually going to have a clear weekend. But we have to talk about what's going on right now. Rain to start our morning. If you wake up a little bit later in the day, you may not actually be seeing this rain. And I know you see those flashes of pink, and usually that's indicative of freezing rain. Ice pellets will not be long-lived, if not seen at all. A lot of this in terms of precipitation is pushing straight from snow into rain. So that rain-snow mix. It's going to be slippery out there. I was walking to my car this morning with just a fresh coat of some rain over top of all that ice that we have had on the roads. If you don't have that fully clear driveway, you may be slipping and sliding out there. So that rain continues to track towards the east. We are also talking about snow, just system snow, and then lake effect snow as well. Squalls coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. Typical areas, but as you can see, as those oscillate, don't quite make their way down to the city of Toronto. But this is how much snow we could see. 1 to 3 centimeters south of Georgian Bay, not as much throughout Toronto, and it's really held towards the north at 10 to 15. What we will be feeling downtown and around the lakes and around those typical areas will be the gusty winds. Wind gusts, even special weather statements out today that you could be getting gusty winds, particularly on the northern shores of Erie's, the northeast shores, 80 kilometers an hour. So note that when going out. I hate driving in gusty winds. So for our temperature story, we are seeing those temperatures fall throughout the day. We actually had our warmest temperatures around 3 a.m. this morning. Now, I do want to note Family Day is on the horizon. This is where you can find me. If you're doing something fun, let us know. But if you don't know what to do, maybe check this out. All right, we're taking you to the highway views eastbound. The 401 approaching Weston, we have a disabled tractor trailer, and that's your Weather Watch continues. Good morning, happy Friday. We have a lot to speak of, especially in Ontario. There are low pressure systems across the country creating a lot of weather, but in Ontario, we continue to talk about the snow. Now, as you can tell, even from this map, the center of that low, high in northern Ontario. So that's where the snow will be towards the GTA. It's more of a rain story. We're waking up with rain on the roads and rain on the driveways, and that's going to continue to push off into eastern Ontario. This could have stopped also by the time that you have woken up this morning, depending on how quickly that front moves towards eastern Ontario. But what I will say, if you do get that rain, and you are, if it's on the ice on your driveway or anything like that, it's going to be really slippery out there. So be a little careful getting to your car. As you can tell, that rain continues to move towards Cobourg as well as Kingston. Snow towards the north. Behind it, we will usher in colder conditions. That rain is moving just with a warm sector. And towards the north, it's Timmins to North Bay that has that 10 to 15 centimeters. Toronto, not really part of your story, but what is the gusty conditions as well. So a little slick on the roads with that rain as well as gusty conditions, particularly if you are on those northeastern shores of Lake Erie. We've got special weather statement in place right now, 80 kilometer per hour gusts locally around those lakes. Usually we will see those gusts amplified a touch more. The afternoon conditions go something like this, and for Toronto, the evening a little bit cooler at -2. Now, this is one of my favorite segments. This is done by April Walker. The videos you have got to see. Watch this. Good morning. It is Friday. Hopefully the Valentine's hangover isn't too tough this morning and the coffee is strong. You made it. We are almost in for the weekend, but there are a couple of things we want to talk about. We've got rain to end the week. You may be waking up to that today. And then as well, the weekend is going to be seasonably cool, and we've got the next one to watch. Let's talk about our weather, and then we'll get into a little bit of conversation about Family Day. A look at the systems across the country. You can tell there's a lot going on, but a lot going on for us here at home. This is what the morning will look like on our radar return. I woke up a bit more mild conditions, getting ready for work this morning, and our temperatures this morning are actually going to be the highest around 3 or 4 a.m. and I know time has now passed since then. Now, so that's going to continue to slide. And we're still going to see the rain. It's not exactly going to be a freezing rain or ice pellets story. You could maybe see that, not prolonged at all. Towards the north, that's where all of the snow will be held. It's Timmins, the Nickel Belt, as well as areas like Sault Ste. Marie that could get that 10 to 15 centimeters. And then we're also looking at lake effect bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. The switch of the winds after that low pushing on out definitely has brought the potential there. Now, speaking of the winds, though, that's where our concern is to southern Ontario, just north of Lake Erie, and it's because of those really gusty winds. Through the day today, some isolated gusts around 80 kilometers per hour, and then as we get closer to the lakes, too, sometimes those can pick up just a touch. We see that warm sector push on out. We will be around seasonal today, rather, and then the next 6 hours will shape up like this. We'll start to see the rain push off. The cloud cover will still be in place, but nonetheless, at least it is around seasonal and we're not ushering in really cold, locked up Arctic air. -5 for the morning, and as we look at our afternoon conditions to start the weekend, it's going to be around that -3 mark for Toronto. And a quick look at our 7-day forecast too. Now, I do want to note Family Day is coming up. And so what are your plans for Family Day? Sometimes it's great to have a plan ahead, some tips to know what to do. And Rachel Schutzen has that for you right now. Good morning and welcome to The Brief. Amanda Weldon, Nicole Karkic, as well as Chris Murphy along with you. This is Presenters Picks for Friday. So we're going to run through a couple of our favorite videos from the week. And guys, I'm gonna start with mine.
Okay.
This one is pretty cool. So this one is coming out of Alberta. It is from Kyle Britton, our very own. He's a reporter out in Calgary.
I thought we were starting with Chris.
And we're gonna start with Chris?
Yeah, we were starting with Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with Chris.
I think we're going to start with you,
we're kind
Amanda.
of
Okay, well, here we
mix
go.
up.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's Friday. We're
Live
gonna start
TV.
with Kyle. So this is gravity-defying cold weather, you guys.
We sympathize with you because it's been cold, and guess what? You're not getting above 0 today.
The last thing I want to add, that was Kyle's wife as well. And freezer burn is not caused by temperature, it's actually caused by air. So bring her inside. Now, Murph, now it's your turn.
Thank you, Amanda. All right.
There was a mix.
This is a winter warrior right here. Okay, we're gonna go to Ottawa. All right, Winterlude. This jumps over the fence.
I
Look
didn't
at the,
see it that far
This guy's
before.
amazing. Dry out, but cooling down for the weekend.
Absolutely, Winterlude. Next to me. So if you want to escape the snow, maybe you're thinking, hey, why don't we go to Maui?
All right.
I was there.
Wow.
Well,
Amazing.
winter certainly does continue, guys. We have more on your weather story right around the corner. Snow for many Canadians across the country. We'll tell you where. But follow us on Twitter at Weather Network. That's where we host our polls as well.